As a homeowner, you're on a quest for truth, answers, and a plan that will lead you towards the best outcome for you and your family for today and in the future. Along this path, also consider the waterfall process. There are many things to consider. Among those things to consider is whether or not to pursue a loan modification as a way to resolve my delinquent loan situation. A loan modification is the process where a borrower who is facing financial hardship and is having difficulty making their mortgage payments works with their lender to change the terms of their mortgage loan. The workout plan could result in temporary or permanent changes to the mortgage rate, term, and monthly payment of the loan. The plan's goal is to help the borrower reduce their monthly mortgage payments to 31% of their gross income. Chances are you have heard some horror stories and some positive outcomes to the pursuit of a loan modification. In determining whether or not a loan mod is for you, it's important to ask yourself three things. Number one, is this the house that I want to be in for the next 30 to 40 years, regardless of my negative equity situation? Is it my ideal house long term? Now, if it is, that is the first key to moving forward with a loan modification. If the answer is no, this may be the first indication that a loan modification may not be the best option for you. The reason is that a loan modification is not a band-aid to fix a bad mortgage situation. It's a permanent solution that has several long-term ramifications. See, many loan modifications extend the loan term to 40 years in order to make the mortgage payments affordable based on that 31% debt-to-income affordability guideline we talked about earlier. Number two question you should ask yourself. Will I still agree to a loan modification if the bank doesn't agree to offer me a permanent principal forgiveness? Statistically, very few borrowers are offered permanent principal forgiveness from their bank. It seems to be the carrot that third-party loan modification companies or attorneys use to entice delinquent borrowers to pay for loan modification negotiation or processing. In order to be a viable loan modification candidate, you must be willing to move forward even if no principal forgiveness is offered. Even the small percentage that do receive a principal reduction, the majority of them are actually receiving principal forbearances, meaning that the balance of the loan is tacked onto the back of the loan to be paid off if and when the borrower ever sells or refinances or transfers the property. It's merely a technique used to lower the loan balance temporarily in order to fit the payment into that 31% affordability ratio model that we talked about earlier. The debt does not go away. This is very important to know as a homeowner considering a loan modification. Number three question to ask yourself. Do I have the ability to pay a mortgage payment based on 31% of my actual debt-to-income ratio? In other words, do you have too much house? If the loan modification was to be offered hypothetically, would I be able to afford it based on my current loan amount or the unpaid principal balance, my current net income, and my present debt and expenses? See, the idea of receiving a very low permanent interest rate with a drastically low payment is not statistically supported and is very, very rare. Low introduction rates are common with HAMP, the Home Affordable Modification Program, loan modifications. But it is important to remember that eventually the payment will adjust upward to a higher interest rate, and that payment will be the norm for the following 27 to 37 years. That's the real number to pay attention to. The bottom line is that the loan modification can be a great option for some delinquent borrowers. However, it is counterproductive to jump on the loan modification track and park there for too long when the bank is pursuing foreclosure at the same time. The banks practice what is known as dual tracking. That means they continue to pursue the foreclosure process at the same time that they're pursuing a loan modification or another workout option. This can be very dangerous in today's volatile climate. Once it has been determined that a loan modification is not an option either by choice or through failing to meet the eligibility criteria, another option must be pursued by the homeowner as soon as possible. In the waterfall process we mentioned earlier, the next option to consider is a short sale or a deed in lieu of foreclosure, before foreclosure can actually take place. These options can take long periods of time and should be pursued sooner than later. REN has partnered with a large national HUD-approved nonprofit organization called City Vision. We have extensively vetted this organization and are very proud of our strategic partnership with them. We want to encourage you to reach out to them to receive qualified counsel on your situation if you desire to pursue a loan modification. There is no cost to the consultation that you'll receive, nor is there a cost for the loan modification application process. Hopefully this video has helped you gain proper perspective about whether or not a loan modification is right for you.